Hey YouTube, it's Morgan, aka the Mountaineer. I'm here at Kanawha State Forest. It's about 7:45 in the morning. I think the sun is just about now coming up according to my weather app, but I'm in the parking lot and I'm going to be doing this White Hollow Trail again. I'm parked down here. I'll go and hit Davis Trail and a little nature trail, Davis Trail for a bit, hit White Hollow and come up here and go around. This is the same trail I did that time. I think it was like Rainy Mishaps or Rainy Misadventures, something like that. But kind of lost the trail a little bit. It was raining. And today, theoretically, it's not supposed to be raining on me, but we'll see. But hopefully I'll be able to find the trail this time. Right about there is where I set up and had my pipe and made my coffee last time. Right there is the way the trail goes, even though someone, I guess, put that sign on backwards. You can see the blue blazed, that arrow on the tree. Well, right here might get a little bit confusing. I'm not positive if this is the area, you know, if this rock right here is the beginning of that area where I got so lost last time, but you can see up here an old faded blaze. It does look like a trail kind of goes that way, but then there's that tree down, I don't know, and then a newer blaze over here. on that tree and on that tree, 2 blazes. Looks like trail goes that way. So, of course, I could be totally barking up the wrong tree. I might not even be there yet, but I'm gonna risk this way. I have a vague idea of what happened last time, though my memory is pretty crappy. But hopefully I won't get lost this time. But I think if this is where I'm thinking, yeah, this is definitely the spot I got turned around at last time. But this is where I plan to stop and have my pipe and coffee. I'm gonna have to find a decent spot, might clamber up on top of those rocks I can see down there. Let's see, where is it? Probably can't make it out. We're right above my trekking pole. There's a blaze there. So I should be able to find my way out of here. All right, guys. Oh. Whew. I don't know how the acoustics are gonna be, but sitting up under a rock overhang here. Of course, the moment I get settled down out in the woods, there's a friggin' work truck or something moving down there, so I don't know if you can pick up on that, but that's my luck. I'm actually, like I say, this is where I got turned around last time. Trail just wasn't marked very well, but also it's a bunch of switchbacks that go down to the road. So as the crow flies, I'm not very far off from the road. So all that noise is coming right up here. And today, since I've started that air pocket method, packing my pipe, I was like, well, it kind of defeat the purpose to pack the pipe ahead of time and then put a coffee filter in it to keep the tobacco in. That'll just shove the air pocket down. So I just brought out the tobacco, Boswell's Northwoods, and my Scott Hudson poker. So I just kind of ram in a little plug of tobacco and shove a little more in, especially with a deeper bowl. Shove a little more in on top, trying to preserve that air pocket on the bottom. That deer was in the middle of the road, obviously. Walked up and it stopped. I don't know, I'd say I was probably about, I'm not a great estimator of distances, but I'd say probably about 50 or 60 yards off. And it stood there watching me. I got a couple pictures. Switched over to video. And that video, I think, was a little over 4.5 minutes long. So I watched that deer for almost 5 solid minutes just standing there, and I was standing kind of awkwardly. I just kind of stopped whenever I saw it, and my right foot was kind of turned in, and I was just standing funny, so I kept trying to just bend my knees a little bit here and there and balance and not move too much to keep it from running off. but that was kind of cool. And then the one clip or clips, I can't remember exactly what I filmed. There were, I'm not good on natural sounds, but just based on the number of chipmunks I saw, I'm guessing all that racket was chipmunks. There were a lot of downed trees, and I'm guessing they kind of stay in there. You can see this is, I'm gonna have a different setup today. This is my old titanium cook pot, just a little bit excessive for what I use it for. So I bought that other one, but just like the other one, I made this Reflectix koozie, cozy, whatever. And here's my, that's actually a titanium Esbit stove, little tiny pot stand. You just sit it like that on the ground. Pot sits on top. Put that in there, and then this base plate sits underneath. The Esbit tablet goes there, and it both keeps the ground undamaged and reflects the heat up to the pot. But that's not what I'm using today. Not using my other actual Esbit stove either. If you saw my Khazad Doom video, the first one, I think the very first thing I did was steam those Utero Cubans for a little bit in the mocha pot. And if you recall, the stove I had it on was this stove right here. This is just heat, gas line, antifreeze, and water remover. Can't remember what type of alcohol it is, but anyway, this is a little Toke's siphon stove. Toke's the same brand as the pot, but it's double walled on the inside. It looks like one kind of thickish wall, but it's double walled with holes at the top, and it siphons the fuel up there and makes a good bloom. See that? I don't know how well you guys can. Oh, I'm sure you can see that to begin with, but I guess I should have tested to see if the pot stain was sturdy enough. Feels good. I don't, however, have my windscreen. Yeah, that pot doesn't have, I was looking to see, it does not have measurements on the outside. My normal one, my one that you've seen before, and then I take backpacking, has metric and imperial measurements on it. Just trying to shoot for about 9 or 10 ounces of water in there. This thing, you can see, has the bigger handles. But I got that stove was sitting by my coffee counter, sitting on my coffee counter at the house, and that pot, sorry. And I thought, well, I'll just take that thing. And then thought I'll really mix it up, get that alcohol stove. It goes a lot quicker. And especially with this bigger stove, bigger surface area, thinner water, it'll heat up a lot quicker. And I brought my little Yeti tumbler to make my coffee into, grinder, some Ethiopian coffee, I think. Yesterday afternoon, I spent about, I don't know, an hour and 10 minutes making 2 batches of coffee with my homemade coffee roaster. And this was the first batch, and it was actually a whole pound. I thought I'll test this, see if we can do a whole pound, and it did. It took a while. It took a good bit longer. Well, then I did about 14 ounces of decaf, and I think I actually set the timer on my phone, and then of course I cleared it, but I think it was 21 or 22 minutes to roast it to pretty dark roast, probably somewhere up close to Vienna. Of course it's hard to tell with decaf, but and cooled down all within 26 minutes. Brought my Prismo attachment, that little valve on it. Results of the grind. I don't know what's up with this. Good old Northwoods, man, that's good stuff. Tasty coffee, still super hot. Sounds like it's some kind of diesel down there running. And whenever I actually got on White Hollow Trail, I showed that sign. I'm about 95% certain that that's a new sign. It was the I guess HDPE or something like that. You know, the dense plastic stuff. And I think the old one, I think that was where I was laughing, because it showed one on the old sign. It showed one type of blaze. Might have been like an orange square or orange triangle or something like that. And yet all the blazes are blue circles on the trail itself. But getting up that trail, it's a steep bugger at first. Start out at the far trailhead, parked right below that. So just down the hill here, walk the road for a little bit. There's a little asphalt nature hike loop there, went on one leg of that, went on the leg that I hadn't been on before, back to the road for maybe 60, 80 yards, and then hit the tail end of Davis Creek Trail for just a little bit, and then went on the trail. Well, it's just, you start going uphill, and some of it's real steep, and as you can tell, obviously the leaves are down a lot, and that makes a rocky trail that much more difficult because it obscures your vision. You can't really tell what's on the trail, especially you know, getting out right after sunrise on an overcast day. And the leaves are slippery, so it's kind of a double danger there. But it was interesting to begin with. Now see, this lid, it has the mouth hole, and it's kind of bigger where you can put a straw in, and it has the little vent hole. And this thing is dangerous because right now I'm looking at it. I guess that steam's enough to fill up that little vent hole. I can't tell you the number of times I've burnt my mouth on this thing, so I just have to go blow down through and clear that thing. But you'll get it, that thing, you'll start getting coffee out, that thing will pop, and you'll get a shot of super hot coffee right down on the top of your tongue. And oftentimes I end up just spitting it back on top of the thing, hoping it funnels in. But a few weeks ago, when I started using this thing a good bit with using that Keurig, man, it I about had no skin on the tip of my tongue for a while for a bun coffee pot. It's good. On the job front, I have a little bit of good news. I got an email yesterday evening for a phone interview request for next Wednesday. I was thinking it was like downtown Charleston along the boulevard, which is the road that goes along the river, the Kanawha River. But she looked it up and she's like, oh, you'll love that. It's only like 2 blocks away from Them Two Brothers, which is a phenomenal barbecue place on the west side of Charleston. It's so good. It's kind of expensive, so I don't get it much. I've only had it a handful of times, but my goodness, is it tasty. And I said, I don't care how much that job paid, I couldn't afford to eat there every day. Maybe once a week though. So hopefully that turns out well. It sounds like it'll be kind of a cool job. I think it's a non-profit out here. And I don't remember this overhang. That was that crazy time I was in my poncho trying to get home in time for church. And, you know, like I say, right here's where I got lost. And I was smoking my pipe along here. And I think at this point I still actually had my cup of coffee when I first got here, and then maybe right down here I sat down and finished, or not sat down, but took my pack off, finished the coffee, clipped that cup on the outside of the pack, kept smoking, and then, you know, wandered around, doubled back, went up, cut across switchbacks and all that stuff. So I wasn't paying too much attention to this. But whenever I was coming up around here, I thought, well, hey, that'd be a good spot. I don't think it's gonna rain, but nice kind of flat-ish spot right here. covered, open ground, little areas I can put stuff on. So I think this worked out pretty well. I have to remember this in the future if I want to go out on a day it's going to be rainy. This would be probably a pretty decent spot. I was thinking about it, and I believe I saw a couple deer right up there, the same spot where that deer, where I saw that one this morning, right around where the actual trail turns off. I think there were a couple hanging out right there before that went the opposite way down off the ridge. So that sounds like there's some crazy person out in the woods with a wooden block, and then I think it's coming from this direction, and then it's echoing over there. I was trying to take pictures of, get a good video of some smoke rings. Thursday, I think, had a rare cigar. That might have been the first time I've ever tried to blow smoke rings with a pipe. I don't know, that's always a cigar thing. But I was trying to take a video, trying to get pictures. And it's just, I don't know, smoke rings are cool, but I realized I look kind of like a bullfrog when I'm trying to blow them. You know, got the throat going. I think that's basically what a Well guys, I'm just about down to dregs and dawdle. So I'm gonna take a couple pictures, shoot a little video of the view I've had, pack up. Here's looking back under the rock. And you can see out there, there's nice ridge lines. Well, I made it out of that okay. I think I ended up cutting a little bit of a switchback off, but I think they're kind of old and new blazes, which make it confusing, but wasn't too bad. But you can see up there through the trees, the rock kind of make out where I was, and then went down that way, out that way a good bit, and coming back this way, and then ridge line through the trees there. I'll go down this way. I think there's another switchback, and I end up somewhere in a pine thicket down there, and then I think that's basically after a little pine thicket. That's where I'll